How's it going, everyone? Marc Lozano here with Christ Center Capital, C3 for short. So, in advertising Christ Center Capital, in the first couple months, my SEO guy and a bunch of other people have recommended that I do a YouTube channel or a podcast and something like that to get the word out. And I'm very much against it. I don't have the equipment. This is the first real take on an official YouTube video. And as you can see, I'm in the dungeon. This is the basement that I actually do a lot of my work out of. I don't go to office too much. I like to stay home, kind of make everything there. And I'm not dressed like someone you probably want to take financial advice from, but I do got my favorite shirt on. Christ telling everybody that's how he saved it. And you can tell the gym just get mixed up. Shoulder, uh, Dwight Schrute's gym for muscles. Huge office fan. This is the home gym we got here. Actually got a great setup because my wife is a personal trainer and a kinesiology major graduate. She's like a certified strength and conditioning specialist. But anyway, I'm going to give you kind of the state of where Christ Center Capital is, and then we're going to talk about a topic that's kind of near and dear to my heart and kind of what started Christ Center Capital. So, first, Christ Center Capital is only not quite 4 months old, which is really, really cool because we already have subscribers in 18 states and 4 countries. So we're really gaining a lot of traction. We're nowhere near where we need to be. We haven't hit the 1,000 subscriber mark or anything like that yet, but paid subscriber mark. But really feel that it's coming sooner rather than later. We thought we were going to be in this for the long haul, and it's been really encouraging. Very grateful for the blessings God's given us so far to kind of grow this. I've had a lot of talks with investors and accredited investors, angel investors, and they're intrigued by the uniqueness of us in the financial realm. And I say that because our target market is more of the everyday person. I've had people suggest, oh, you should be for accredited investors and give them Christian investments. And my response is accredited investors don't really need much more help. Like they've succeeded. Accredited investors got quite a few 100,000, if not millions in the bank. Like they're to the point where they don't need any more help. I mean, everybody needs more help, but when we're talking about finances, there's a lot of other people that need a lot more help. And I wanted to kind of introduce the market in an ethical way to the everyday investor. There's a lot of people out there who are not involved in the market. 55%, I believe that's the number, 55% of adult Americans are engaged in the market, which means 45% are not. And that's in the US. And majority of those 55% are only in the market in terms of retirement accounts like IRAs and 401ks. Very few people are actually invested into the market themselves. And this was a huge catalyst for me starting Christ Center Capital. I'll give the whole backstory of this video. But one of the main things that caused me to really think about Christ Center Capital was I wanted to teach people how to invest for themselves, doing so in an ethical manner, because the market, maybe, I think the last time I looked this up, I believe the market is still outbeating tech startups for who creates the most millionaires every single year. And I'm talking about the market as a whole, not just the stock market, but like the investing market, including alternative investments like cryptos and real estate. And that entire gamut of the market is what creates the most millionaires every single. And it's crazy that so many people are not in tune to that and not taking advantage of that opportunity. But I completely understand why they're not, because the market is a daunting place. Like investing is scary, it's risky. And for you Christians out there, I just got a great line from a mentor of mine, and he said, "Faith is spelled R-I-S-K." Faith is spelled R-I-S-K. That's a great line because it's so true. Think of the parable of the talents and so many of Christ's teaching in the Gospels and just teachings about the Bible. Like risk is necessary. Not just crazy risk, jump off the cliff and hope I live risk, but like risk that is calculated and you're being prudent, but it's still risky to involve in this thing because you don't have a 100% guaranteed outcome. And so if we're going to implement our faith into all aspects of our life, including our finances, we need to be engaging in risky investments. And that's really what the market is. And if you're prayerful about those investments, if you are prudent and doing your due diligence, I believe you're going to win out a lot more times than you lose. And the market, I mean, think about real estate or the stock market, it always goes up. It may have some down years, some down months, some down weeks, some down days, but it always goes up. And that's why I think everyone who can, I mean, everyone can invest, dollar cost average $10 a month or $100 a month. It's going to be the best way to build your wealth because you're going to have control over it, unlike you would with like a 401k or IRA. Complete control. I can get out of this, I can get that, I can choose different alternative investments and everything. I think, what is it now? Only Morgan Stanley broke the barrier of kind of playing with crypto. And but as a personal investor, as someone who's kind of doing it yourself, like that's not a barrier. You do that right away. I'm completely sorry if I'm really doing again. I'm doing YouTube videos for the algorithm, that fun stuff. Definitely not what I'm comfortable with or anything. So I apologize for and sorry if the Dwight Schrute's Gym for Muscles is a distracting. But I hope you can take something from what I'm saying, and I'm just going to dive right into a little topic that we have, and that is DIY investing, do-it-yourself investing. Uh, there's pros and cons. We actually did a post on this. It's a free post. You don't have to be a paid subscriber to Christ Center Capital or read this. But we talk about DIY investing, and it's all of our posts on Christ Center Capital, very short and sweet, digestible, that on purpose. I'm a bit nerdy when it comes into reading, balance sheets and P&Ls and all this fun stuff, but I know most people don't have the time to digest and kind of read through all that. They're just looking, why is this a good investment? Why is it bad? What's the information you need? And so that's what Christ Center Capital is about. We're trying to give you digestible information. And this little post on DIY investing will probably take you 3 minutes to read, probably even less, really. And we're talking about the pros and cons of the DIY investing. The cons are pretty obvious. I mean, you got higher risk. A lot of these 401ks and IRAs, they're safe investments. They're not going to get rich overnight, even rich over a period of time, but they're safe. And so DIY investing is definitely risky. But like we said, faith is spelled RISK. If you're that morally sound investor, risk is something you shouldn't run from the hills from, something that you should embrace to a certain degree. And then the other major con is it takes a little bit more time and effort, right? You got to do your due diligence. Not as much effort as you probably would think, though. I mean, that's why companies like Christ Center Capital and others, Inspire Investments and Stewardship, they're a great investment site. A lot of these sites do that for capital. But so it's going to take a little bit more time. It's a little bit more high risk. I wouldn't say don't do an IRA, don't do a 401k. Some of the people who I talked to and helped me start Christ Center Capital probably would say don't do an IRA or 401k because you don't really know what you're investing in, participate in those assets. But there are channels out there that let you have a little bit more play and understanding and knowledge about what your investments are doing, where your money's going, if you use 401ks and IRAs. And of course, you could always do like gold IRAs or something like that, where it's a lot more it's going. The Morgan Stanleys and Vanguards of the world, so much. But the one other con I should mention is, like, it's not really a con because you shouldn't be just personal investing, you should probably have one of those retirement accounts set up if you can find one that's ethically sound, which Price Center Capital, if you website, are some suggestions in that topic. The that kind I was talking about is, the taxes. IRAs can help you with taxes and stuff like that. People that topic, but again, it's not really a con if you're doing. The pros of DIY investing are plentiful. Uh, there's so many different avenues and platforms you can trade on that are commission free. There's definitely a lot higher potential ROI with your personal investing. Just like there's higher risk, there's higher. With higher reward comes high risk, and vice versa. With little risk comes little reward. If anyone tries to sell you something, oh, there's no risk, you're to you. They're always lying to you. Right? Next pro, we got, it's very easy to withdraw or change those investments when you're managing yourself. Think of just managing a simple Robin account, right? Or even a platform you prefer. Like phone, and change every investment that you have and something, and do it again and whatever. It's so user friendly to do those things when you're uh, invested, when you're doing it for yourself and you're not just in those retirement accounts. And then it's a lot easier to invest in adherence with your moral convictions, to invest in alignment with those Judeo-Christian values when you're investing for yourself. Because like I said before, you have Price Center Capital, Inspire Investments, and a bunch of others. Second Vote is a great website if you've heard of it. They research. It's really easy to start to invest in your values when you have that control. Again, it takes a little bit more time, more effort, higher risk, but I think it is a responsibility of the Christian investor to take on that risk so that they can be in more alignment with those moral convictions that most Christians say they subscribe to. And then it's the ability to engage with alternative assets. I mentioned this before. I mean, if you're investing for yourself, even again, I'll just keep using, not an endorsement for Robinhood or anything like that. They're not paying for me to do a video. It's paying for me to. But even on Robinhood, you can invest in crypto, the major coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, a lot of like whatever it is, even Doge. To each his own. But you can invest in those alternative assets even there. And then there's these other amazing platforms that have popped up in recent years and decades that we have this ability to now invest in fine art, to invest in real estate, on a crowd investing platform, cryptocurrencies, obviously. There's just so many alternative investments available to the every person now that we never. And you can get into those if you take charge of your own investments, if you become a DIY investor. Well, I'm gonna probably stop it there. That was an abrupt ending. Sorry about that. Like I said, not a seasoned YouTuber, but please go check out Christ Center Capital. We are a company that is trying to communicate to people that they can empower people, that they can be in charge of their own investments. They can do so in a Christian friendly way. And it's really not as hard or daunting as you may think it is. Go check out Christ Center Capital. You can sign up at C3, $7 a month. There's a bunch of promo codes. One promo code you can use is BIB 2022. BIB 2022. Use BIB 2022, get your first month completely free. I'll link other promo codes in the description. But get your first month completely free. No risk or anything. Cancel anytime. You just send an email to support@christcentercapital.com if you want to cancel. And you can go check it out. We have mock portfolios, investment opinions and recommendations. Like, we're not financial planners, we're not brokers or anything like that. Recommendations can be perceived as there's some legality behind that word, but we'll say investment opinions and stock pick opinions that C3 gives, and trying to just give tools to be able to invest for yourself and to invest in a way that is in alignment with your Christian values. And of course, we're always calling out those investments that are opposed to those values. And there is a lot of them, so be wary. And we make it pretty easy to find those through our call our list. You can type that right into the search function on the site, find the list and why companies are on the list. But yeah, go check out Christ Center Capital from the description. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, find the service worthwhile, and feel empowered to become a DIY investor and partake in that that market that has created the most millionaires ever, right? All right, God bless. Have a wonderful day. Christ is King.